In this video, I'm gonna show you the only game you need to see to understand why you need to play the Sicilian Defense and how to do it in the right way. Hi guys, and welcome to the Journey to Grandmaster channel, and today I want to show you this beautiful game between Levon Aronian and Barham Maksudlu. Essentially, that's the only game you need to see in the Sicilian Defense to fall in love with this opening. Black is executing all of the ideas that, well, essentially is the essence of this opening, so I really enjoyed it. I am pretty sure it's going to be very instructive for you, so let's take a look at it. So e4, c5, knight f3, d6, one of the main lines in the Sicilian Defense. Now knight f6, and well, basically that's the starting position of the knight f variation here after knight c3 and a6. And well, there are a lot of different lines. I'm not gonna stop here for every move because, well, you can talk about it for hours. My point is, well, black is just developing now, nothing special, and white chose to castle here kingside, which is of course one of the possible ways, but not the sharpest one. There is also long castles, and then white is attacking here on the kingside, but this time white decided to play positionally, just, well, trying to say you have a weakness here on d6, so I'm gonna develop all of my pieces and eventually try to attack there. But, well, after some maneuvering here, a little bit weird, feels those two moves like lose of time. But still, black's position is incredibly solid. It might feel passive, but still black is very solid, and wait for the main idea here which black executed. So this queen goes to c8. Now it's very active in terms of the diagonal and in terms of the c file. Rook went to d2, knight to h4, now putting some pressure on this bishop on f3. Of course, you never should allow this exchange as white, so bishop went back. And now this beautiful idea comes, the reason why I wanted to show you this game. So one of the thematic ideas in the Sicilian Defense is a rook sacrifice, an exchange sacrifice to be exact. Here, rook takes c3, sacrificing this exchange, and then black is not even taking this pawn on c3. Instead, he plays d5. And that is the point in the whole knight of defense, and also in many other lines in the Sicilian. When you have this weak pawn on d6, they say once you're able to play d5, you're great. And well, it costed an exchange, but it doesn't really matter, since all of minor pieces, all of black's minor pieces are incredibly active right now. And this pawn on c3 is still weak, this pawn on e4 is weak, queen takes c3, bishop went back to f2. I want to point out that objectively this position is slightly better for white, but practically it's so difficult to play as white. Black is so active, creating so many threats, and yeah, like I said, that's the reason you play the Sicilian Defense, and hopefully it's gonna be very instructive for you in terms of understanding those ideas. Now d4, just look at how this pawn is thrown here, cementing everything, and the engine is not a big fan of this move, but this is a type of position where you can just ignore the engine altogether and just look at the position with your own eyes, and you're gonna be amazed with how active and how beautiful this position for black is. Rook went to d1, just queen c7. Of course, you never want to exchange the queens in such a situation when white is in exchange up and you are some material down, but you have the initiative. So the rule is, if you have some material up, try to exchange as many pieces as possible, as it's gonna be simpler for you to convert the advantage. But if you are some material down and you have the initiative, then try to keep the pieces on the board, especially the queens, and then create the threats using your initiative, create the threats for your opponent. So that's what happened here. I also want to mention that queen takes c2 is not really a good move, because then the queen doesn't really have a lot of squares to go, and it could get into trouble here, like rook c1, queen b2, and then rook can take on b7, then this pawn is weak and the queen is still not stable, so that's definitely not what black needs here. So just queen c7, this pawn is still weak and it's gonna be weak for the time being, so there is no reason to take it, and that's why Aronian decided to play c3 to sacrifice this pawn, trying to open up those files. But the problem is, it's not that easy to get this pawn back in the first place here. Queen c6, rook c1, and just rook c8, defending it, and well, good luck trying to get it back. Bishop n to d1, knight e7, just attacking this bishop here, bishop a4, queen c4, and bishop n back to f2, because you can't really allow this exchange, then those bishops would be just monsters. But still, bishop b4, there's a play so simple for black. All of the pieces are active, this knight on h4 has put a lot of pressure, and now it has to go back. But, well, it's gonna come back. It has a beautiful square on f4, potentially, from where it attacks pretty much everything and creates incredible amount of threats. White's idea was to put the knight on e3 and try to be as active as possible. The queen just retreats, and now bishop takes d7 because, well, both of the knights were heading towards this d3 square. And if both of the knights are there, ready to jump, there is no way for white to stop it, so white decided to exchange. But now black has those pair of bishops, and you remember that in the open position, bishops are incredibly active, incredibly dangerous for the opponent. So just c2 here, trying to deflect white pieces and, well, trying to be as active as possible immediately. Bishop b3, not allowing to get this pawn back. Queen e2, once again attacking it, but, well, black could have just taken the h3 pawn, now focusing on the king's attack, but he said, I don't care about this pawn, I'm gonna just play rook c6 instead. And then bishop n to b4, and look at those bishops. Those are just monsters, and all of white pieces are very passive, and so white decided to give this exchange back. I just want to mention that if you try to take it with a knight and bishop d2 comes, attacking this rook, the knight can move, and otherwise the knight is under attack. And so white is losing a lot of material, so rook takes c2, giving the exchange back, but then it's just, yeah, pretty much winning position for black, because there is an extra pawn, the a pawn is weak, and also there is a huge threat of rook d2 here. So queen d8, now still maintaining this threat, and at the same time attacking the pawn on a5. Rook d2, now just exchanging the rooks and taking the pawn, 2 extra pawns for black, and no real counterplay for Levon Aronian. And honestly, I haven't seen that often that somebody outplayed Levon Aronian as black in such an easy manner, just, yeah, not given any chance at all. And here black just converted the advantage. Once again, notice here this moment when you have more material, you try to exchange the pieces. So black tried to exchange the knights, the knight tried to retreat, and now even at the cost of a pawn, but black just wanted to get into the queen's endgame where there are those 2 protected passers, 2 connected passers, sorry, and there is no counterplay for white. The only possible counterplay here could be to give a perpetual check, but, well, black is guarding this f7 pawn, so it's pretty much impossible here. And now the pawn just moves all the way to a4, and then queen c2 check, and now a3. And so here white resigned because there is no way to stop all of the pawns. The second one is also coming if needed, and of course this one is making sure that this queen can't go anywhere. So I hope this game was instructive for you, I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you did. I mean, yeah, for me it was amazing how easy black outplay the one and only very strong super grandmaster Levon Aronian here. So I have to give credit to Parham. He played this game fantastically, and he basically opened my eyes to how strong the Sicilian opening is. So write in the comments whether you play it, whether you would like to try it if you don't, and hope to see you again in the next videos. Thank you very much for watching.